Why are we talking about 5th generation or 5G wireless networks? We only just launched 4G in many places. Some carriers don't even have 4G yet, and I can't go to a store and buy a phone with a 5G sticker on it.
Yeah, the first 5G phones probably won't be available until 2020, and most markets won't launch, the ones that do, until that year. That said, however, in 2017 there will be tangible progress in 5G, largely in the form of upgraded 4G networks, about 200 of them, which have components of the 5G network architecture. Now, why that matters is because they will provide a way in which to learn how the 5G network will operate, such that when it does launch, there's a lot of expertise already within them.
Now, I mean, this reminds me a lot of the transition from 3G to 4G. We proceeded stepwise. There were these sort of 3.5G technologies. What are the names of the 4.5G technologies that we're going to see in 2017? And what kind of speeds would be associated with those?
Yeah, so there's more acronyms. The acronyms are LTE, which is Long-Term Evolution Advanced, so LTE-A. And then the upgrade to that is LTE-A Pro. By the end of 2017, about 200 of those networks will be operational.
And speeds?
In terms of speeds for LTE Advanced, they are already delivering a few hundred megabits per second in many markets. They can go up to 600 megabits per second, probably this year. LTE-A Pro, theoretical speeds are up to 3 gigabits per second. And just to add, that's what people with smartphones in the street will be able to get. If you do a speed test with those devices, it's not lab conditions.
Now, when I read through the prediction, there was a whole alphabet soup section in the middle where we were talking about carrier aggregation, MIMO, QAM, beamforming. Without getting into that technical detail, can you tell me, why would a carrier be interested in this? What is 5G, 4.5G offering to the carrier?
Yeah, it's very intimidating. 5G as an upgrade is really complex. But basically what they are delivering is greater speeds and greater capacity. And as a result of that, a lower cost per gigabyte carried. And the combination is very important. Now, one of the ways in which this is happening is through enabling greater spectral efficiency. So spectrum is a raw material via which data and voice communications are carried. There is a finite size of that spectrum. So what you need to be able to do is use that more and more efficiently. And that's what a lot of these upgrades are doing.
So higher speeds, but what about Internet of Things? Is there any advantage of 5G for these devices?
Yeah, so 5G, as part of the upgrade, and one reason why it is so hard and so complex to understand, has specific support for IoT. So rather than going faster, it's going slower. Rather than going higher frequency, it's going lower frequency. And what that will enable is working even below ground, and also enabling small sensors, let's say on lift shafts, to communicate a bit of a status update on a regular basis, but only powered by a battery.
Wow, so low power. But coming back to high speeds, I heard some of those numbers for LTE-A and LTE-A Pro, and they're faster than what I'm currently getting through my fixed line into my home. Will some people be able to use 4.5G, 5G wireless technologies to replace their fixed line broadband?
Yeah, definitely some households it will become viable to do. So if you have lots of connected devices, and if you're not an 8K addict and you're happy with, let's say, a 5 megabit per second stream to each device, then it may be absolutely fine. The next thing to consider is price. What all these upgrades enable is a lower cost per gigabyte carried. So if it initially costs $10 per gigabyte to the consumer, they might not want to watch an episode of their favorite TV program because it's just too expensive. At $1, they may think about it a lot more. What about at 10 cents? What about at 1 cent? This will unlock a lot of behaviors. And one of the things which it could enable is people might just go, I'll just have mobile connectivity.
Well, I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying that they can't wait until 5G shows up. And based on our prediction, it sounds like a lot of people won't need to wait. Variants of 5G are coming sooner than many people think.